Mansa Musa's wealth was insane, but nobody talks about this part of his story. You think you know Rich? Think again. We are talking about a man so wealthy, his 14th century pilgrimage to Mecca crashed the gold market for a decade. We are talking about Mansa Musa, and there's a secret to his wealth that history books conveniently forget. What's up, history buffs? Today we are plunging deep into the untold story of Mansa Musa, the richest man to ever live. You've probably heard the basic facts, but stick around because the real secret to his empire's prosperity is something you won't find in most textbooks. We will uncover how he built that wealth and why it matters even today. So, who was Mansa Musa? He was the 9th Mansa of the Malian Empire in West Africa. He was born in 1280 and died in 1337 at the age of 57. He ruled Mali Empire from 1312 till his death in 1337. He came to the throne of Mali when his predecessor, Mansa Muhammad, who was more interested in exploration than he was in ruling, left Musa in charge of the empire, took 2,000 ships, and went on a voyage to explore the Atlantic. He never returned, so Musa took complete control of the empire. Now, the Mali Empire itself was a powerhouse, controlling vital trade routes for salt and gold. But Mansa Musa, he took it to a whole new level. His personal net worth is estimated to be in the hundreds of billions, maybe even trillions in today's money. But it wasn't just about having gold, it was about what he did with it. His famous pilgrimage in 1324 saw him travel with an entourage of tens of thousands, camels laden with gold, and enough supplies to last. He gave away so much gold in Cairo that the value of the metal plummeted for over a decade. Wow. Now, here's where the secret starts to unfold. How did he amass such unbelievable riches? It wasn't just luck. The Mali Empire sat on some of the largest gold deposits in the world. In fact, estimates suggest that almost half of the old world's gold supply came from West Africa. Think about it. Gold was the ultimate currency back then, and Mali Empire was the go-to place for merchants looking to earn gold in exchange for their goods. The taxes generated from this trade boom made Malian kings even wealthier. But gold wasn't the only key. Salt was equally, if not more valuable in West Africa. It was essential for preserving food and for survival in the arid climate. The Mali Empire controlled the trans-Saharan trade routes, taxing both gold, living, and salt entering. It was a perfect economic storm. Okay, so he had the resources. But here's the part most people miss. Mansa Musa didn't just hoard wealth, he invested it. He understood that true power and lasting prosperity came from more than just raw materials. He poured vast amounts of wealth into building infrastructure, mosques, libraries, and universities. In fact, some of his buildings still stand today, especially in cities like Timbuktu. Timbuktu became a global center for learning and trade, attracting scholars from all over the world. Think about that. While Europe was still in the Dark Ages, Mali was building centers of knowledge. This attracted merchants, artisans, and intellectuals, further boosting the economy and solidifying his empire's influence. it created a cycle of wealth. So, why don't we hear more about this? Honestly, it comes down to perspective and bias in historical record-keeping. Much of the historical narratives we inherit comes from European sources, who were often focused on their own exploits and perhaps downplayed the achievements of African empires. I mean, these were the same people that said Africa doesn't have what it takes to build a civilization like good Zimbabwe. It took them years to overcome that bias. Mansa Musa's story shows an advanced, wealthy, and educated African civilization at a time when European powers were far less developed. It doesn't fit neatly into the colonial narrative that often dominates history lessons. But the impact was undeniable for his time and in the long run. This is why understanding history matters. It reshapes how we see the world and our place in it. If learning about these incredible, often overlooked figures fascinates you, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. And tell me in the comments, what's another historical figure whose wealth or influence you think is seriously underrated? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.